Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and this video. So today I'm going to do a December reset. I just thought that it would be a really good video for me to do and a way for me to kind of keep touching in base with you guys, because recently I posted a video like help, like I need your help, and it was really rejuvenating to me because I don't know, it was just really nice to hear what you guys had to say and to hear you guys be understanding to me, as I had no clue what I was doing with my channel and my content. And you might be able to see that I still have no clue what I'm doing with my channel and my content. And also because of my infrequency in posting, I figured at least you would know that once a month you're gonna get a reset video and we could just talk about it and we can catch up on where I've been, what the month's been like. So to give you a bit of a rundown on the things we're going to talk about the money I spent on books in November. We're going to talk about my budget for December, my bookish budget I should say. Some monthly faves just in general. We're going to talk about video plans for December, very tentative. My bookish goals for December. We're going to talk about the meh of the month, like just the meh. We're also going to have a look at the tea/mug we're gonna have for each of these videos, because I'm trying to make them cozy. Like, come and sit down with me. It is December, it is Christmas season, and as such I've pulled out, you know, I only have one Christmas mug, and if you know how much I love mugs, you will know that that is a real disservice. So I've only got this one, and I'm having an Earl Grey in it at the moment. I feel like I might often have an Earl Grey. Earl Grey is my favorite kind of tea. It's a decaf because I need decaf. So I guess we'll start with the money, because I reckon a lot of you guys might be interested in the money and the finance side of life. I don't know, it's something new. I've started tracking my money and trying to get more on top of my finances in general, and so I have more of a picture of how much I spend on books, which I didn't have before. Now obviously the caveat is this is depending on how I tag all of my purchases as. I have all of my bookish subscriptions in here in my overall bookish spending. I have obviously audiobooks that I've bought, ebooks that I've bought, and physical books. All of that goes in here. However, my Patreon costs, any patrons that I subscribe to, I haven't currently included in here, although all of the patrons that I subscribe to are bookish. I only am subscribed to one at the moment, so we'll talk about that later when we come down to cost, but know that that is excluded. Let me know if you think I should include it, because it's currently in subscriptions, because it is kind of a subscription to me. You see, this is where it gets murky. So in November, I spent £95.87 on books. We don't really have much of a metrics, because this is the first one, so it's like, how much does she usually spend? So I'll tell you what I usually spend on books. In September, I spent £175.40. In October, I spent £85.37. And obviously, again, this November, I spent £95.87. How do I feel about those statistics? I think it was more than I was expecting, but at the same time, like, just because the numbers sound higher than they are, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it. When I think about it, books is my hobby, books is my enjoyment, and so therefore money is going to go into that, and I don't think that that's overly expensive. I think the majority of that cost is a lot of subscriptions. So I have Audible, I have Scribd. However, saying that, my mum pays for my Scribd at the moment, so there's an extra cost that is off. Let me know if you guys want another video where I talk about all the ways that I read books, because that might help inform what sort of things are going into this. Now, roughly £40 of that is on Fourth Wing books, and I have a video coming out about it and we'll talk about it, but I want to say that we have to minus £18.99 of that so far out of there, because of the fact that I returned it. I won't tell you why I returned it, but I returned it. So it says £95 or whatever, but minus about £20 of that. So we're looking at roughly £75. Now, again, as I said, the other one I'm planning to return, but I haven't returned yet. So if that is the case, then that would take it back down again to £55, which is a lot more, I don't know, it's a lot more reasonable in my head. But at the same time, I haven't done that return yet, and so we'll just stick with £75 just in case I don't end up getting my money back. And £75 I'm okay with. I also spent a lot of money on audiobooks, because that's what I predominantly read. So I bought You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, A Fatal Obsession, The Housemaid. In terms of ebooks, I bought A Fatal Obsession and You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight again. My Kindle Unlimited subscription. And then I also spent £14.95 on Black Friday on books. And so we'll go through those quickly. So I spent £15 on roughly 5 audiobooks, which to me is amazing. I've got A Madness in Sunshine by Annalise Singh. Is that how you say her name? We've got All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. We've got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. A Fashionable Indulgence by K.J. Charles. And I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Mackay. And so these are some really big audiobooks and books that I would have probably read anyway. So to get them for, what, $2.99 I think it was, is amazing to me. So I'm really happy with that. In terms of errors in my calculations, because I also bought this book, but I bought it from the charity shop, and so it was $2.99 from the charity shop. So this is just a classic Japanese lock room mystery, so really interested in that. And then lastly, for the haul, I went to the Works, which is like a really discounted hobbies shop is what I'd call it. And so they do have books, because obviously reading is a hobby, but they also have lots of other like arts and crafts sort of thing. Apparently, I bought this one in the 3 for $6, but I'm so sure I had this one already. So if it's not this one, then a substitute book for the 3 for $6. Oh, they've got a deal of 3 books for £6, which is amazing. So I got Let's Say This one apparently. I got the Fiancé Farce, which is amazing. I wanted to read that. We got the Christmas Murder Game, again, wanted to read this, had my eye on it. We have Dying for Christmas, which I never actually heard of before this, so that's interesting. But like, I'm really excited, and since I've seen it about. And then we have Murder at Theatre Royale. I love going to the theatre and I love murder mysteries. And then lastly, we have Honey and Spice, which I don't actually know why I haven't read this book. I think it's a case of like procrastination, because I loved Love and Colour so much by Bolu Babalola. And I was like, I loved it when nobody even really knew her name like that. So I'm so, I don't know, I think I'm just nervous. So that's it for the haul. And we could just move on to the next category. In terms of what is my budget for December. This month is going to be N/A, like NA. I don't have a budget. I'm going to just live my life when it comes to books. I don't feel like it's something that I want to necessarily restrict at the moment. It will probably fluctuate, and that's why I've kind of left this space here for in the future me to change my mind. But for right now, I'm like, no girl, live your life and read your books, like period. If I was like wasting money with books, I might have a different perspective, but I'm not. So I feel like I am quite a reasonable and quite a savvy book buyer. As we've seen, I've got the 3 for £6 from the Works. I've got the book from the charity shop. I've got the Audible stuff. So to me, I feel like I'm quite savvy with it. So it's not something that I feel like I need to restrict myself on. So this part, I don't think is going to be part of my usual monthly resets, but I'm going to include it for now because I think that this isn't the best month, but I definitely want to show it to you guys. So there's another creator on here, Jacqueline, and I absolutely love her content, and I have loved her content for years. And she has started her own bookish game that she sells on Etsy, on an Etsy shop called The Cozy Commune. And she's currently doing Vlogmas, but she's doing it on her family channel, all about the Wheelers. So I'll list them both down below, and I highly recommend you check it out because her Vlogmas videos are perfection. I love it. But anyway, she's got her TBR game, and she kindly sent it to me for me to show you guys, which is amazing. And it's so lovely of her to do that because, you know, I'm not the biggest creator anyway, and I'm completely across the ocean from her. So that was just so lovely. And so there you go, it's international shipping because it's done via Etsy. So there's many decks that she does it on all different sorts. I personally chose the Thriller deck, the Diversity deck, and the From Your Shelf deck. I don't know, these are just the ones that strike out to me. If you wait out for next month, I think I'll probably do like a full TBR with them, like a TBR game. But for right now, I'm just showing them to you because December is so chaotic. But I definitely wanted to show them to you, and I think they're so good. So I'm going to just pick a couple. This isn't how the game works, but I'm just going to pick a couple randomly from here and then hope that you kind of get a vibe for it. Each of the different decks have a slightly different colour backing and slightly different aesthetics, which I love. So this is the Diversity one that we're just going to pick randomly from. And that is... What does it say? It says, a book that is set in West Africa. Again, this is quite hard for me this month. So I'm going to allow myself to pick again. Just because... I don't know, I've got a lot of reading and we'll go into what I'm reading later. So I'll pick again. Okay, so let's pick again. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So you don't think I cheated while I had a sip of tea. What is that? I can't read it. It says, oh, it was upside down. It says, read a book with an asexual, aromantic character. Oh my God. I really want to do this. It's actually not really fitting in my plans, but I don't care. I really want to do it. I think that's a great prompt. Okay, so here is the thriller deck. I'm just going to give it a bit of a shuffle. We'll just pick from the top again. Can you see that? Hopefully it's the right way around. It says read a thriller with kidnapping or escaping. I could do that. I can do that. I'm gonna stick to it. My brain was whirring then. Okay, so from my shelf now, we'll just give it a fake shuffle. This is really a fake shuffle because what is shuffling here? But anyway, we'll just, you know, fake it till you make it, and then we'll draw from the top. Again, I hope this is the right way around. Read a book you are most excited to read from my shelf. Oh, that's really helpful. That's really helpful this month. So these are the 3 cards that I picked for December. I'm only going to pick these 3 because December is December. But I will tell you what I read for them next TBR. Usually I'll pick them in front of you and I'll let you know what I'm reading at the time. But because it's December, I'm going to give myself a bly. I am being very easy with myself. So I'm studying, I'm working at the moment. So I've got a lot on my plate and I don't know what I expect of myself, really, truthfully. There's only so much spare time in the day. I can't work, study, read, make booktube, and live my life, have a social life, and spend time with friends, and go to the gym, and etc, 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 etc. So I'm being lenient with myself when it comes to posting, but I'm just going to tell you the main things that I want to post, right? And it might only be 2 things, but hey. So the main things that I want to post in December is I want to post the follow-up to my Hunger Games videos, because that's important to me, because I love Hunger Games, and also I filmed it and I think it's just fun content. I think it's just lighthearted and it speaks to who I am as a reader, so I think hopefully it will attract people who read similar to me. I also would like to post this video, obviously, and I'm filming this on the 4th of December, so hopefully we get a quick turnaround with this one. And I also would hopefully like to upload a reading the Goodreads books for mystery and thriller as a mystery reader predominantly. So I don't know, because again, I'm a mood reader, and so forcing myself to read the Goodreads has been a moment. But hopefully I shall finish all the books and I can get that up for you, even if it's at the beginning of January. I think my bookish goal of the month is really to get up to date with my reading spreadsheet, because I don't track at all my reading, really and truthfully. I love to. I've got so many different ways to track my reading, and yet I always just drop off the face of the planet of the earth with them. I barely track on Goodreads, but I haven't. I have to retrospectively go back, and that's only Goodreads, so I have to go and fill in my reading spreadsheet for the rest of the year so I can have some comprehensive, like, end of year statistics. And I do want those end of year statistics, and that is important to me, so I am going to have to do that this month at some point in December. So I might use my Christmas break to kind of knuckle down and get that done. Another thing is I want to purchase my 2024 reading journal, in terms of like a digital journal, and I currently have one that I bought from Shop in the Clouds, I think, on Etsy, and I absolutely love it. It's absolutely perfect. I've made modifications of it because I can actually technically make them myself, but I'm just lazy. And also she's just done it, or they, sorry, I shouldn't assume gender, but they have just done such a good job in terms of aesthetics and everything that I want from it. Well, not everything, but a lot of things that I want. It covers a lot of what I want, and so it's good for me to have as a base, for me to go and create extra pages, add them in, and etc, etc, etc. So they haven't currently got up a 2024 version, which is a bit worrying, a bit concerning to me, because I would happily, and I want to, just buy the 2024 version, rather than, as I said, I can do it myself. So I can just go in and create it based off of their template from 2023, but I would actually much rather just support the creator, and also it will save me time, so it's not even just all altruistic. I've got quite a few things that I've enjoyed this month. Well, we'll start with the thing that's right here in front of me, and you're gonna think, what is she actually on? This is toilet paper. You're thinking, what the actual hell? You're gonna see that there's quite a theme going on in terms of my monthly favorites. Now, I'm trying to become a lot more sustainable, a lot more ethical in life, and for me it's a balance. Like, I can't do everything, but I could do what I can do, and so there are some things that I can do and there's some things that I can't. I think it's just that simple. And so what I have recently done at the end of this month is I've upgraded my toilet paper to bamboo toilet paper. It's from Amazon. So again, that's what I mean in terms of like ethicalness, because okay, fine, this is really good for the environment and other things, but then it's Amazon. So take your pennies, pick your pot. I need to stop making up idioms. Anyway, I did my research on it to get bamboo versus recycled toilet paper, bleached versus unbleached, all of the above. And I tested and I was like, well, it's a trade-off, like, what do I want to do? And so we ended up with this one because apparently, and it's just really good quality. Like, I just think it's good quality toilet paper. Doesn't dissolve. Yeah, I would just highly recommend. I would just highly recommend it if you're in the UK as well and you want to like get a bit better with your toilet paper. There you are. Then the main thing, I bought myself a new iPad. Screaming. It was overdue. Here she is. It's what I'm currently looking at for my notes. Ta-da! Oh my god, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she just amazing? I also got this like fake Apple Pencil from Amazon again. Same with the case from Amazon. Same with the screen protector from Amazon. And can I just tell you something? This fake pencil is amazing. It's actually really, really good. The only thing that it doesn't have is the pressure sensitivity, and I actually don't even really know if you need it that much, although I've never had it, so it's hard for me to judge. But I absolutely love it. Obviously, you can see it has the same metal thing here. So if you're looking for an Apple Pencil, but you don't want to spend the money on an Apple Pencil, I would highly recommend this one. It's the Apple Pro 11-inch 2021, in case you want to know. I got it from Back Market, which is a refurbished like website, like electronics website, because obviously everything that's going on with Congo and the Cobalt, so it really is important to me to try and think about my Cobalt consumption, basically, where I don't have to, like electronic consumption where it's not necessary. And so refurbished is just as good. Like as I said, this is a 2021 version of the Pro iPad, and it's amazing. I did get a pristine version, but it's basically the same as brand new, and it's a lot better for not only the environment but also for the people of Congo, from Congo. Congolese people, I should have just said. I don't know why I didn't. Also this month I fell in love with Vinted. I bought so many winter jackets and they were all like under £10, and now I am like set up for winter in terms of winter coats, and everyone's like, oh my god, love your winter coat. And I'm like, thanks babe. And it's all from Vinted, and like I would buy some more if I could, but like it's excessive. I think I bought like four winter coats. We don't need to talk about it. Vinted, absolutely love. Again, better for the environment. I don't know, I think that was the theme of this month. I'll put down some creators that I've been watching that I think have really inspired me, but I'll also be being totally transparent. I think you guys know that I got a new job, so my paycheck went up, and I think that that's also missing sometimes from the conversation about being ethical and being sustainable, because sometimes if you don't have the funds to do it all, you can't. And that sounds like I'm trying to make excuses, and I'm really not. It is just sometimes a thing of I can't afford necessarily, like that toilet paper is so much more expensive than the toilet paper that I could get from Costco. So it's a pros and cons, and that's why I say I can't do everything. And one content creator that I'm gonna list down below, I think she says do what you can and advocate for the rest, something like that. I'm very new to watching her, so apologies if I've bungled up her saying. So this is a fast fashion brand, but I also got myself, oh gosh, to even close the bag, I got myself a new backpack, because listen, I need a new backpack, especially for like carrying my stuff into work and stuff. And here she is. She's a big one. She was technically a men's backpack, but I'm like, why does it need to be gendered like that? Let's be realistic. So if it makes me look androgynous, I don't care. For what reason? And so far it's just been everything that I want and need. It was only like £21 I think on the Black Friday sales, so I can't close it properly, but just know that it has just been everything that I wanted and more, because I'm a lover of backpacks. I hate handbags, really and truthfully. Like I'll do it for fashion, but really and truthfully I don't like, if I actually have to carry something, I hate a handbag. So this is it. This is her. This is she. Look at me saying, why do backpacks need to be gendered? And then I'm like, this is her. But anyway, this is her. So this is something that I've loved. Many things that I've loved, and there are more, because I'm very blessed, but we'll keep it there. And then my meh for this month, and it really is a meh, because if you know the struggle that I've been struggling, is Afra. So Afra, they used to be called Books That Matter, and I think they were a UK-based subscription company, and they would send out books that matter. So I think there were like lots of feminist books and BIPOC books, I want to say, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. I was quite new to them, and now they've closed down their subscription, and they've opened up a bookshop, and they've changed their name. They've rebranded from Books That Matter into Afra. Now I don't know what their connection is to that name. Afra, but that's their new name. But the reason why I'm meh with them is because, fair enough, like a lot of things were going on with them, so I've kind of left it now. I've kind of like swept under the rug, but in full transparency, I want to like let you guys know. So I wanted to support them because they seemed like a good brand to me from when they were like Books That Matter. This was before the rebranding, and they seemed like a good brand to me. So I was like, okay, bet. Like, I don't have much money. As I said, this was before I got my new job. I was like, I don't have much money, but I want to support you. I think they had like these surprise books with a tote bag for £5, which is amazing. To get a book and a tote bag is amazing. And I think it was just their way of like clearing up their overstock, like from books that they had extras. And so I was like, yeah, like let me just do that, because that way I'm supporting them, I'm helping them, I'm also getting something from it as well though. Do you know what I mean? So I bought this package. Days passing, weeks were passing, and nothing from them. And it was at a stage where I was like, I just wasn't sure if it had been delivered. Like, I didn't know if it was a case of like they'd left it on my doorstep and it had been taken, or I just you know, because there was no tracked shipping, that's it. I just didn't know. So it's actually not even a thing where I'm demanding tracked shipping. No, babes, I get it. I actually understand. Like, well, I don't know how big their business is, but to me, you're a small business. Like, just do your thing, girl. So I emailed them and I was like, hey, babes, like, just checking to know if you shipped it or not, so I know whether to like keep an eye out for it. And they're like, no, sorry, we haven't shipped it yet. Like, we ship it all at the end of the month, so we should be shipping it now. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Like, that's absolutely fine. Days pass, weeks pass, and I'm like, right, okay. I'm like, hi guys, like, I'm really sorry. I'm really not trying to be that customer, but like, I just want to know, like, what's the status with my package? And they're like, oh, I can't really exactly remember. I'll put it on the screen. Just being transparent. Like, I'm not even trying to badmouth or misrepresent the situation. Somewhere along this line, they had rebranded to Afra, right? From Books That Matter UK to Afra. And I was like, I understand. Like, you're having big changes going on. But, like, I just want to know. Okay? I want to know. Bearing in mind, I was DMing them and emailing them, because I DM'd them and I was getting no response. I DM'd them, no response, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I emailed them and I got a response like ages later after I emailed it. Well, it was like, I think like a week later. But bear in mind, when you're waiting for a package, that feels like an extra long time, you know what I mean? Especially after you've DM'd and heard no response. So then next time DM, no response, but I had immediately emailed, you know what I mean? Because I knew like, okay, DMs isn't where you're at. But like, I'm still gonna try, because you're still advertising that your DMs are open for these sort of conversations. So let me try. But I was like, I know you're busy, but like, what's going on now? Like, time is like, months have passed now. And so then they were like, oh, we're really sorry, like, we're going through things, but like, we'll put you on for the subscription for September and October instead. And I was like, do you know what, that is so sweet, because me, really and truthfully, I only paid £5, so I really did not pay the price for 1 month subscription, let alone 2. So I was like, do you know what, or you can have your money back. And I was like, I'd rather have the subscriptions for 2 months. This is your main business. Like, your main business is the subscriptions. So I had faith that fine, you could do your subscriptions, like, you have that unlocked, because you've been doing this for years now. Then next thing you know, I can't remember what came first, but I think it was the fact that they are opening a bookshop, and I'm like, great, happy for you. This is another reason why you're probably like taking time. And I think they had also explained like there was something to do with stocks or something. Then I get one package, and this is a package, and I'm like, great, thanks so much, hun, thanks. And I am happy. Tell me now, this is December 4th. Have I received the second package? The October package? Bear in mind, I haven't even told you, they've shut down their subscriptions now. They're not doing subscriptions no more. And I never received the second one. And like, listen, as I said, I only paid £5, which is not even the price of one subscription. So I'm just, and also I can't be bothered to back and forth with anybody anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, that also takes a lot of emotional toll to be back and forth in the customer inquiries, and it's like dragging out. You're thinking, where am I going to hear back from them, blah blah blah. I just couldn't even be bothered. I said, you know what, try your good, man. So that was just a bit meh. Overall, I just had like a very meh experience with this brand, and it's like they've been going for a long time, and I don't know, it was just like, you want to support someone and then you don't get what you get in return. And I know it's like, you only paid to support them, but like, I was still supposed to receive the product. I don't want to say because you didn't do it right, but like, and because you weren't able to give me the product that I bought, right, you offered me another service and you still didn't fulfill that service. And I don't know. I want to give them grace because they're a small company, so I'm giving them grace, and that's why they're a meh of the month, not a what's going on, man? Because if it was a big company, I'd be like, what's going on, man? Like, you should have this unlocked. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, all of that to say, here's the book if you want to see what it looks like. So it's quite nice. They've obviously, they had to get all this new sort of stock because they weren't Afra when I first reached out to them. I got all of this stuff. But also, it just takes the whole experience, you know what I mean? So what was this book? This book, I'll open it now for you on camera. I kind of opened it and then I was like, oh, I'll reopen it on camera in the video. But I don't even want to open it. First of all, you can't even get the subscription, so there's no point me like filming it and showing you guys. And second of all, it's like, I don't even care to give them that airtime like that, because of the fact that I don't want to send you somewhere and then you're getting the same service as me. I can't do that. So anyway, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's Rouge by Mona Award. They're themed every month, and it's like by women, for the women's, for the non-binary, for the diversity. So this is my mare. This is my mare. £5 though, guys. Remember, let's just put that into context. I did pay £5. So £5 for a brand new hardback. You can't complain. Well, you can complain because I just have. But like, this book would have been £16.99. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even 100% trashing them. It's just meh. It's just a meh, unfortunately. Also, on the flight, I just thought about putting like a creator that I'm loving at the moment. So, a creator that I'm loving at the moment, I love quite a few, so it's always hard for me to do this. But I'll shout out someone who's doing Vlogmas. If you want someone else who's like a tea babe, who loves their tea and does like a tea advent calendar, I'm going to put the creator here because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I exclusively watch her Vlogmas. Every time her Vlogmas comes around, I'm back. I pop back up and I'm like, hey girl! Hey girl! Do you know what I mean? So I can't remember her channel name off the top of my head. But all I know is that she does amazing vlogs. But like specifically her Vlogmas vlogs, I'll be there. She's got a baby kitten. Who doesn't love some cats? Anyway, I'll speak to you later. Peace, because I talk too much.